Hi, it's Paris from Epic Reviews, the tech channel, doing some upgrades on my system. Since I had the case apart and pulling things out, I thought I'd show it to you and tell you what I like about it so much. I did a lot of research before getting this case, and for my needs it has been really a great case. It's the Thermaltake V9 and mid-tower case. Let me show you some things about it here. Okay, here we go on the front. You've got your various bays here. I'm just using the one. And down here, it's got a filter over the intake fan. I couldn't believe how this was completely blocked with dust. It'd been a while since I cleaned it out, and I couldn't believe how dirty it had gotten. So you got your fan in the front, pulling air in. You got the filter to filter out some of the dust there, and it does a pretty good job, or it wouldn't have gotten all full. Okay. And it's a screen here, of course, to let the air through. Okay, now I'm going to show you the top of it. And this is something unique, and it's been so handy for me. What we have here, in addition to your USB 2.0, USB 3.0 headset microphone, are these guys. I don't know if you can see down inside there. There's actually SATA ports. Well, SATA data and power ports right there. So you can take a hard drive and plug it in there. I don't do that with my C drive, but let me show you here with this new Vertex 4 I'm going to be installing. You line up the SATA data and power ports. With the smaller size notebooks, you don't even need to push the flap down. There's a cutout for that. And so we slide it in here, press down slightly, and there you go. It's hooked up basically with the SATA cables here to the motherboard, so you can swap hard drives in and out so easily. And I have to work on other people's computers, recover data from hard drives, scan. The virus has infected their computer so badly it can't be done on the system. I pop their hard drive out, pop it in here, run the scan. Very nice and convenient. So I love that feature, and there's two of those. Let me show you the insides here. Got this a couple years ago, by the way, but I saw they still sell it. Newegg does still offer it. Okay, it's got plenty of room, can fit a big cooler here on the CPU. I've got a Antec 500 watt green watts power supply running in it. It's got these little, let's see if I can remove one to show you. These little deals, so you don't need to use screws when you put the hard drive in, but this is going to be a different issue with my little notebook size SSD. And you got room here for your extra CD DVD drives. Okay, I guess that's the inside part. It's fairly heavy, so there's a lot of steel in it, in addition to some plastic. On the back here, now here's the dorky thing, okay? This was a couple years ago. USB 3 didn't have Intel support yet on the motherboards, and so they had to add a second chipset and sort of jury rig it to get you the USB 3.0. And the way they did it is it's built in here, and so they put this cable, and this wasn't my invention, this is how they set it up. In order to get that USB 3.0 on the front port, you take this cable and plug it into one of your two USB 3.0 ports here, which then basically just sends the signal up here to the front, and now you've got the USB 3.0 on the front. But I mean, this is a silly looking way of doing it. Anyhow, at the last minute, I guess that's all they could come up with. Here's the other side. Nothing too exciting there. And I'll show you the side panel case. Alright, and the side panel is plexiglass, so you can see through, and it's got some ventilation here. I'll just explain a little about the ventilation. So as I showed you before, we have fan here pulling air in, takes it and blows it through across your hard drive or your solid state drive. Then here we've got this fan, the CPU cooler, pulling air in and blowing it in this direction through the heatsink right to here. I don't know if you can see, right here is another big fan. So all that heat generated by this overclocked CPU, ideally, gets blown right out the back here, and then the air coming in here is going to come up into the, let's see if you can see the air intake in this shrouded cooler here for the video card, the GTS 450. It pulls it in there, but instead of just blowing it past the GPU and the circuitry, this card has this section right here, basically, where it uses a second slot in the back because the card's so big, but the way they use it, you've got your video adapters here, up here, down here. It's where the hot air blows out. Again, if things work right, that's what happens. So your two major heat producers, the CPU and the video card, should send their air right out the back of the case. That way you don't have the heat build up and you can keep all the components running cooler. One other feature of the case that has worked out very nicely is this top-mounted huge fan that doesn't go very fast. It's not very noisy at all either, but there's always constantly air blowing up from here. And of course, inside of the case, where's the hot air going to accumulate? It's going to be right at the top of the case, and you've got that huge fan here to deal with it. You also have the fan right back here that's to work in conjunction with the CPU cooler to blow that hot air right through, but any that doesn't get out this way hopefully will come up and go right out the top. It's worked very well to keep the case cool. So it's been a very good case. I haven't had any overheating issues, and it's been plenty big for the video card. I'm replacing the video card with a GTX 660 that is monstrous sized. I'm hoping it won't run into anything, but I'll let you know.